In this video, I'm going to pick up right where we left off, which is chapter 997, and we will end it all the way up to chapter 1000, so that we get caught up, but I won't go into too much detail like we usually do. So, let's get right into it. I have had the chance to read all four chapters that I missed during the month of December, or starting the month of December, and I really love how the story is coming together. I feel like even though the cover stories of chapter 997 and 998 were fun and light, which I really love, the ones from chapter 999 and 1000 serve as one full photo of the whole crew and is really awesome. I really love the baby fighting fish that Sanji was holding. I think that was a good touch, as well as Frankie with the gold chain. I thought that those details were a refreshing little twist that was added. Oda got Frankie looking like a gangster. He actually sort of is, but anyway, I just love it. Moving past the cover stories, 997 was definitely a revelation. That chapter started off with Sanji trying to rescue a woman that was being harassed, but he ended up being trapped. Now, this hasn't been the first time that Sanji ended up in the wrong end of the stick with his chivalry, and it has been one of the staples of Oda when he wants to make the situation look dire, at least for Sanji anyway. And it happened in CP9 against Khalifa, in Dressrosa with Violet, and so on. But really, how Sanji responds to Black Maria is one of the biggest reasons that he's my second favorite character, only next to Luffy actually. And that's because he's really, really hilarious. It seems that Sanji would be AWOL in the battle for at least until chapter 1005. We might see him get tortured and stuff, but I don't think he would easily escape unless something drastic really happens. Anyway, Oda also introduces Poker and Mizurka uh, as they were waiting for Luffy and Jinbei to get to where they were, just to cut them off. I really like how unique they both look. I love it when Oda draws some hybrid animal character. I just think it's so unique. It looks and makes the scene feel lively and fun. You just definitely feel their creativity. But anyway, Luffy gives them the slip because they took a shortcut. We then cut to a scene where Big Mom leaves the activity hall and Zoro notices this. He also notices that Kiku's arm went falling straight down to the ground. So you really feel the severity of the situation here, especially when you take a good long look at the scene. Then you see Zoro's ominous expression. It's just perfectly drawn, and the story is so juicy, packed full of details, but more importantly, you see Zoro's sense of urgency here. And his intensity jumps up, which was fantastic to see. I felt that the ice demons coming at him was basically Hody Jones in water all over again. Then he slashes Apu with what looks like the Shishi Son Son, the lion's song. Easy. One hit, that's all it takes. And Oda just further solidifies Zoro's gangster status. Zoro is truly OG. He gives Chopper the antidote, and just when Queen tries to do something about it, Zoro gives him a slash and a declaration that he's here for Kaido. Not for the father, Kaido. And really, I hope that the chapter ended there. Zoro was so badass. I thought he even unleashed a blast of Conqueror's Haki, just like everybody else in that activity hall. But It was then revealed that this was Kaido's doing. I never would have thought that Kaido had that kind of ability. It's like Shiki's Devil Fruit power from the One Piece movie, the Strong World one. But the difference, I guess, is that he can't directly manipulate and throw it whatever he's holding at the enemy, which is fine because I believe that Kaido is OP already. Not Kaido is One Piece, but Kaido is overpowered. He is broken. Anyway, let's go straight to chapter 998. Marco, who appeared in the activity hall back in chapter 997, was burning Chopper here. NANI? Which Zoro and Brook took as an attack. Rightfully so, right? But he was actually helping Chopper fight off the virus. So this buys Chopper some time to work on the medicine. I think he's going to show up and cure everybody that has been infected before Sanji goes back into action. Marco also burns everybody in the hall. I actually didn't expect Marco having this huge of a range because we only saw Marco hit characters one-on-one or defend or heal single characters. Really see him take out masses of enemies at all. And when I saw this, in my mind was already thinking about how strong Marco is at clearing waves of fodder. Anyway, Apple was going after Chopper too because he got infected somehow. Drake shows up and somewhat gains the trust of Zoro by taking on Apu. And I really like the obnoxious remark that Zoro makes, but that just shows how confident Zoro is even in this state of Onigashima. Jinbei gets left behind so Luffy can move on quicker because he's heartbroken. No, he just so he can make it to the rooftop faster. We also see the General Frankie wreaking havoc, but Sasaki has had enough of how Frankie is showing off. And this is the first time we've seen the General Frankie get blasted away. Sanji continues to break the tension with his antics. He loves the fact that he's being chased by all of these women, I guess, and he even comments that this might be heaven.
Bruh.
but the biggest thing here, literally and figuratively, is Black Maria. Her powers have finally been revealed, and it looks more and more like a good match with Robin. Also, Who's Who looks like a kitty on steroids, and Sawyer Seven Mage's hunches were right. He really is a saber-toothed tiger. Lastly, Ulti and Page 1 were hunting Nami and Usopp. And the chapter ends with horny Nami, which is Yamato, casually saying that Ace came to Wano to kill her father. Which was pretty exciting to think about, but the best thing about it was that it made the chapters overly fast-paced slow down quite a bit. This is what's so awesome about One Piece. The ups and downs, plus the quick and slow pacing without losing any of the details. It's just excellent. Now, enough of being a fanboy and let's jump straight to chapter 999. And right off the bat, I wonder why that lion-looking character on Ace's crew looks a lot like the Smile Fruit Lion of Hold'em. They look too similar. But anyway, it might just be me. So, we see Yamato and Ace squaring off, and I realize here that they have the same situation, having resentment towards their fathers, which seems like a stereotype among Asian families. But let's move forward. I think that Ace has a way with words. Most of his words are very kind, warm, and relatable. I like how we see Yamato light up like a child when Ace was telling her stories of his journeys or adventures. She really does look ladylike to me. And soon, Momonosuke realizes that Yamato is the daughter of Kaido, and it gave him quite the shock. It was just like the time when Ivankov learned that Luffy was Dragon's son back in Impel Down. But anywho, let's move past all of the other scenes and go straight for the meat of the chapter. Marco flies up while he's carrying Zoro. In the official translation, Zoro makes a comment saying, "Nice view," as he was looking upward. And it made me think that Zoro might be gay for a little bit because he might have been looking at Marco's genitals. But I realized that this was probably um, he was probably looking at the very rare blue flames that Marco has. Cutting to Whitebeard's scene, he mentions something really meaty. He was implying that Ace can't beat Kaido in his current condition. Because Oden couldn't beat Kaido. I know that this was out of context because Whitebeard probably didn't know that Oden went down without too much of a fight, because he was fooled by the previous owner or user of the Mane Mane no Mi, the Kozuki woman. But still, I think that checks out, because Ace is a Yonko Commander level character, not Yonko level. And Oden was probably stronger than Ace was at this time. I think that Oden was super close to a Yonko Commander level, probably not Whitebeard level. He was definitely not Roger's level, and Whitebeard and Roger were basically equals. So I think he's just at arm's length of Kaido and Big Mom's level at the time. Anyway, I like how Queen and King tried to offer a bit of resistance towards Marco, just flying up to the rooftop. But the best part is how Queen calls Marco a songbird. That I really found that to be hilarious. Otama learns about the truth that Luffy is Ace's brother, and she realizes just how hard it was for Luffy to tell her the news that Ace had died a few years back. Yamato also says that Luffy has the D in his name, which might suggest that she knows about the D. Anyway, Kaido and Big Mom are waiting for the new generation to come up. They're planning to kill everybody except Robin, and it gets revealed that Big Mom gave Kaido his devil fruit back in the God Valley War, which is a fish fruit model. And I would love to speculate on what kind of fish that was, but it wouldn't be a dragon, right? Now, fast forward to chapter 1000, we see that Luffy was able to pass up the stairs with the help of the musketeers. Shishilian seems to be crying because Luffy mentioned Raizo. Obviously, Kaido had a field day on them, or with them, and I think that this reinforces Shishilian's comment that this is the only thing that they could do. And as Yamato was talking to Momo, we see that was what was happening around the island, and we get caught up with Kid and Law. Then we go straight to the flashback of Ace and Yamato talking. Ace makes the comment that Luffy and him should drink with the great man Yamato was talking about in Oden's logbook. And at the time, Yamato didn't know that Ace was Roger's son, so she wasn't able to mention it to Ace, and it seems quite funny and ironic that he was resenting his father but was wanting to meet him. I hope that this is foreshadowing of a movie or something. I would love to see that. Anyway, it turns out Ace did for Luffy what Yamato did for him. Yamato made him a Weaver card. And that's when we found out. So now we have a gathering of the biggest players in the island, Big Mom and Kaido in one corner, and 5 of the 11 supernovas on the other. I just love how Kaido and Big Mom were chatting, and Luffy just walks straight past them just to check on Kinemon. Kaido proceeds to try and provoke Luffy, but Luffy just does his business and apologizes for Kinemon to Kinemon for taking too long. Um, Kinemon is talking about his death and that he only has shame to show for Oden. I'm not sure if this is a foreshadowing that some or maybe even all of the scabbards will really die in the story. I personally hope that Nekomamushi, Ashura, Doji, Kawamatsu, Denjiro, and Raizo survive this. I just feel like they have so much to that they can still do later on in the story, even after Wano. Yes, Kinemon since he's a major player, but we've seen enough of him. I feel like, and I feel that he's done a lot of stuff already. So I'm fine if Oda decides to cut Kinemon loose. Kaido decides to cut Luffy and Kinemon's little reunion very short, and Luffy asks Law to transport the scabbards downstairs. So now Luffy dodges Kaido's attack and hits him with the doodoo doodoo. No, I just remembered the song. My girlfriend loves to listen to that girl group. Anyway, he hits Kaido with the new technique, Red Rock. It seems like the third gear's version of a Red Hawk, but Kaido really got shook, and he looked like he was straining a little bit after the big hit. And in very Luffy fashion, we end the 1000th chapter with the declaration that he will surpass both.
Nope.
He will surpass both of these Yonko and claim the throne. Now, it was an awesome month for the chapters in One Piece, and I'm really looking forward for the next chapter. Hopefully, we continue on with the bulk of the story being the fight up at the rooftop. These four chapters really made a great setup and reveal. It really is a fitting chapter for the 1000th issue, and I'm looking forward to at least 500 more. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Stay safe now. Peace.